What up, YouTube? Big Lou tapping back in. But what to do with Big Lou? NFZR2, baby. Anyways, this is the first time you're coming to the channel. It'd be highly appreciated if you sub, like, and share the channel with your family, friends, peoples, gente, folks, comrades, camaradas, associates, buddies, pals, amigos, panas. And also feel free to comment, and I'll respond back to all the comments. Excuse me. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody again. I'm always going to emphasize on this. Be sure to be responsible. Know your surroundings. Know your awareness. Do not drink and drive. Have a designated driver. Call an Uber. Call a taxi. Walk if you have to. If it comes down to it that you get stopped or whatever, it's better to have a drunk in public than to have a vehicular manslaughter or something like that. You know what I mean? Going to prison for a vehicular manslaughter. So please, people, be responsible out there during these holiday seasons. And also, like I said, you got to be aware and know your surroundings because there are drunk drivers out there driving buzz, driving drunk, and you got to pay attention to what they're doing as well. So, yeah, with that being said, as you can tell by the thumbnail, this is about the welterweight division of boxing. Uh, you got the WBO welterweight champion Terrence Bud Crawford, and you got the unified champion uh, Earl the Truth Spence Jr. with the WBA super belt, the WBC belt, and the IBF belt. And so everybody's been anticipating this fight for a while. If these guys actually get in the ring event, finally, and the winner will be declared undisputed king at the 147 division, which is the welterweight division. It'll be the first time in the four belt era that there'll be undisputed at that weight class. Thing is this: they're having problems negotiating on the deals, right? Both fighters feel like they're the side A, which that's understandable. You got Crawford 38-0, 0 losses, and you got Spence 28-0. You know, thing is, he currently holds 3 belts. Crawford holds currently 1 belt, but Crawford is a 3 division. He's held titles in 3 weight classes. Uh, Earl Spence, on the other hand, has only been a welterweight. His whole career, he fought at welterweight. So it's coming to an end for him pretty soon, where he's going to have to go up in weight. Fighters can't stay at that level, the same weight class their whole career. If you notice, all fighters go up in weight. It becomes harder and harder for them to make weight. 147 to make the weight when you get older. You know what I'm saying? And then you could say, well, yeah, the next division is only 7 pounds, but 7 pounds is 7 pounds. That's a lot of weight when it comes to boxing or any type of competing like that, physical competing. This is the thing, though. I heard Bud Crawford. Well, I heard Showbiz say this uh, on his channels that Bud Crawford said something along the lines of he doesn't need a Spence fight. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if he said that's all he said, or if he said that Spence needs him more than to have him more as a fight on his resume than he does him. I don't agree with that because the fact is, Spence has 3 belts right now. Not to mention, Spence is beat in their primes. He just took Ugas's WBA super belt, right? That was his last fight. He took Sean Porter's WBC belt. He beat Danny Garcia unanimous decision. He beat Mikey Garcia unanimous decision. He's beaten Kell Brook in his prime when Kell Brook was the IBF champ. He beat Chris Algieri. He's beat Lamont Peterson. All these guys were in their prime. Now, if you go and check out Crawford was undisputed at 140 junior middleweight. Junior welterweight. He was undisputed. He had all the belts, right? So let's see. I wrote down some of his opponents from the community tab that I posted. So in his defense, right? Let's see. Let's see, where did I put all his guys at? Three separate. Okay, so we know that they have two fighters that they both have in common: Sean Porter and Kell Brook. They both fought both these guys, right? So Crawford has fought and beat Amir Khan, Jose Benavidez Jr., Jeff Horn, Victor Postal, Yuri Gamboa, Ricky Burns, Ray Beltran, Julius Indango. Okay, so most of these guys, like I said, he most of his wins, most of his wins and accolades and his accomplishments were not in the welterweight division. They were in the junior welterweight division and even the lightweight division or super lightweight, excuse me. Um, he was the Ring Magazine. He held a title at super lightweight, um, or it might have been just lightweight. He held the WBO and the lineal title at lightweight, and then at junior welterweight, like I said, he was undisputed, and now he has a belt, a WBO belt at welterweight. Um, so they were supposed to fight. They're moved on, and he's fighting somebody else now. Um, and it seems that WBC has mandated uh, Spence Jr. to fight Keith Thurman. Now, Keith Thurman's been very vocal in all this as well, saying that he's the if you're the truth, then you haven't beat me yet. You know what I'm saying? Keith one time Thurman. Now, Keith Thurman was at one time the WBA Super and the WBC champion, right? He took Danny Garcia's belt, and then for some reason it was stripped. And then Porter and Danny Garcia fought for the WBC belt. Porter won. He became WBC champion. And then Thurman was the WBA super champion for a while. And then Manny Pacquiao took it from him, right? Uh, Dropping him in the first round. So Keith Thurman had a lot of skills at one time. I seen him fight Jose Cito Lopez, and he rocked him really bad. But then again, that was his first fight back in the ring. And then since then, he fought Mario Barrios. Um, I think, to be honest with you, I think Thurman's time's up as being a top welterweight. Maybe if he stays there at welterweight once Spence goes up in weight to junior middleweight, maybe. You got Boots Ennis still there. He's very talented. He's got an undefeated record. He's got 20 something wins and no losses as well. But if they do ever fight, I'm going with Crawford. I think that he's able to adjust during fights, and he finds a way to win. Right. Um, Only time I really seen him in trouble was against Gamboa. Gamboa knocked him around a little bit, but as soon as he went southpaw, he had his number and he started tearing him up. Right. Spence, on the other hand, I've seen Spence hurt where he's been rocked a few times by Kell Brook, by Porter, by Ugas. You know what I mean? So I feel that Crawford's going to do whatever adjusting he needs to, and he's going to get the W. Um, but as far as resumes, I think Earl Spence got him beat on the resume. Only for the fact is that he's only been at one weight. He's not a fighter that's went up in weight yet. So all his fights are at the welterweight division. And on the flip side, Crawford, like I said, he was a lightweight first, then a super, junior welterweight, and now welterweight. So he's held one title, six titles he's held in his career, with a couple lineal titles, uh, the Ring Magazine title. You know what I'm saying? So uh, I'm going with Spence on that. But it just sucks. It just shows how the negotiation of boxing. You know, uh, Spence is with PBC, which is Al Heyman. Um, Crawford used to be with Top Rank, which is Bob Arum, ESPN, um, but he moved on. Contract was up, and I think he's independent now. But then you got guys like Eddie Hearn, you got Dasson, you got Golden Boy, all these different Frank Warren, all these different guys are promoters. You know what I mean? Goosit, what was his name? Dan Goosit, I think it is. Him too. So it just shows that fighters don't want to be the B side fighter. They want to be the A side. Well, how can you have two A sides? You just can't have it. There's no way. The money, they don't want to split them. I think when there's two undefeated world champions like this who has showed that they're with it, Uh, it should be more of a 50-50 thing, instead of a 60-40, 55-45, whatever. Why can't it just be a 50-50 thing? You're going to make money, what I'm saying? It's going to sell a lot of pay-per-views. The place is going to be packed, especially if they do it in Texas. Earl Spence always packs out the house there in Texas, uh, at the Cowboy Arena, Coliseum, whatever they want to call it. You know what I mean? But it just shows that you know a lot of these good fights have been making lately are fighters that are in the same stable. Like two fighters that are PBC fighters. It's easier for them to make the fight with Al Heyman at the helm. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. But yeah. So it looks like they're not going to be fighting each other now. After all, I mean, not when we thought. It's going to be pushed back, if anything, right? And it's going to be Keith Thurman against Earl Spence, and Bud Crawford's fighting. I forgot his name. Let's see if I can find out his name real quick. I'll tell you his name right now. Sorry, peoples. David Avena, David David Aven Avenas David Avanasian David David Avanes David Avanesin. Let's see what his record is. He's a Russian fighter. 69-inch reach, 5'8". He's got 33 total fights with 29 wins, 17 by knockout, 3 losses, and 1 draw. Let's see who's he fought. Josh Kelly he's fought. Lamont Peterson he fought. He lost. Shane Mosley he fought. That must be the son. Uh, let's see. He was the WBA regular champ for a while. He beat Shane Mosley, his father. Wow. Okay. I didn't know that. Okay, I thought it was the son for sure. Let me make sure. Yeah, that was Mosley's last fight. He lost to dude. So dude got one couple good fights under his belt with Lamont Peterson and Shane Mosley. So we'll see what happens there. And then on the other side, you got Spence fighting Thurman. I don't know if all the belts are on the line or if it's just the WBC because the WBC is the one that's mandating it. So I don't know if only the WBC's belts on the line or all 3 of his belts when he fights Thurman. Um, so yeah, with that being said, that's just a little video on what I think on what's going on here with these guys and who I think will win if they face each other. And yeah, so again, first time coming to the channel, sub, like, and share. Feel free to comment. And again, happy Thanksgiving. Big Lou tapping out.